Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So I did a free local SEO audit for a company in upstate New York, and the keyword here was lawn care service. I did this back on June 24th, and I want to share this video because if you are a lawn care service company, this will probably benefit you. But of course, if you're any type of local business, I think these tips will help as well. So I'm not going to share who the company was that reached out to me, but I'm going to share my thought process of how I look at the map, and then how I compare different locations to each other, and then what I would do next. So to start, I can see that James Lawn Services is doing the best. How do I know that? Because they have the most dots, one, two, and three. That means they're on page one of Google, basically almost 40% of the time within this map. Again, Google only displays three organic map pack listings on page one. So that leads to the most impressions, high quality website clicks, phone calls, and potential leads for them. When I click on any other listing here, I can see how the map is going to change. So essentially, if you're all the way down here, let's say you are a 1.23%. That means is this entire map over here, you have that bottom right quadrant that you're on page one, only one dot. So if you're not getting a lot of phone calls, it's probably because your map is not ranking as well as James. So now that we know that James is doing the best, let's compare them. So I'm going to click on compare locations, and the example company I'm going to use here is Affordable Yard Maintenance. I'm going to click on compare businesses. So I do this for all my clients, but also for the free local SEO audits too. I'm basically looking for easy gaps to kind of flag as opportunities. So what I can see here is if I look at the ratings, both have around a 4.2, 4.4. They're very similar, but of course, James Lawn Services has more reviews than Affordable Yard Maintenance LLC. I'm not saying that you need to get more reviews now to compete, but these are just kind of gaps that I look at. So for any local business that either reaches out to me or becomes a client of mine, I try to stress that it's not about the number of reviews you have, but it's more about just encouraging users to leave reviews. So we have yard maintenance that come to our house, and what one of them did actually was really interesting is that they had it right there when they came over and I paid the invoice. They actually had that QR code right there for me to basically leave a review, and I did because it was right there. If the company reaches out to me, let's say like 24 hours later in an email to leave a review, I don't know. I mean, life is busy, right? So the odds of me filling that out, I might, but if I'm also traveling or doing something else, then I'm not going to leave a review. So right then and there, if you can get the review, that's going to help. It's also going to help too, because when I leave a review where I'm located, that's actually a signal for Google as well that people are leaving reviews about lawn care service in that area that you service. Basically what I'm saying is that hypothetically, if I was a company in Albany, New York, and I'm getting people to leave reviews in Schenectady and Boston Spa and Clifton Park, et cetera, those reviews in those different towns are actually signals for Google to kind of rank us a little bit better for terms like lawn care service near me or lawn care service Schenectady, because they can see users are leaving reviews in those areas. So just a little tangent with that. Next, I can see categories too. So I explain this all the time. The primary category for both is lawn care service, but there's other ones too. So you have gutter cleaning service, landscaper, mulch supplier, a tree service. So if you offer those services, you might want to consider adding those as additional services to your Google My Business category, and then of course run the local Falcon scans to see if adding more services or not for secondary categories helps you rank a little bit better. And of course, I can see the map over here. So again, on the left-hand side, it's about a 40% share of local voice compared to 8.64% on the right. Okay, let's look at James Lawn Services in greater detail. So I searched for their name. Interestingly enough, they do have two profiles that come up, but I think one was just a duplicate. So this is the actual one that they have. It's 7+ years in business. So a couple things that stand out to me that they're doing really well. Let's go to the overview section over here. You can see that they have this product carousel, which I always recommend. So if you click on view all, you can see all of the different products that they offer. So, if I look at, let's say, residential mowing. So this is actually just an opportunity for them. I would actually have a description about each of the services and then link out to the individual landing page on my site, but still having the product showcases really stands out. It's a visual. I think it actually helps with dwell time and a click-through rate for users, which then I think Google uses then to rank a little bit better. And next, obviously, we talked about they have reviews. That's great. They have a little description over here. You can actually have more content over here, but for the most part, though, their Google My Business is pretty, pretty well set up. Let's compare that now to the Affordable Yard Maintenance LLC. So what I can already see here is they actually have a missing link to their website. So that actually one thing you would want to add. It looks like they might not have a website. So not having a website, I think, is a ranking. Not having a website is a ranking minus when it comes to the algorithm for Google. Because if you have a Facebook page, let's say for your business, like that's helpful, but that's more of like a third party entity. A website really allows you to, fully showcase everything about your business. So I sometimes have people will reach out to me and say, "Hey, do you only do Google My Business SEO?" The answer is no, because it all encompasses. So the website plays a really critical factor because it connects directly to the Google My Business account. Obviously, Google My Business, and then you have Bing Maps, Apple Maps, third-party directories, etc. These all kind of play a role into ranking. So the fact that they don't have a website, I think, is hurting them from a total ranking perspective. Where James Lawn Service, if I go to their website, this is what it looks like. It looks great, very professional. Users can, let me click out of this, users can, get an estimate, contact directly. I think it's really designed for the usability, and I think it's a ranking factor as well compared to mainly just like a Facebook. They don't have any updates. They have a very small description over here. They don't have any products. So these are all just micro, things that they can really do. They can really add, again, they can create a website, you can create products, you can create services, you can create a description, you can even add questions and answers too, to rank a little bit better. So one more thing I want to talk about with James Lawn Services that I also look at is if you click on, so if I do just the Google search, James Lawn Services, click on these three dots over here. And this is actually what Google knows about the source. So, Yelp shows up. Then you got Crunchbase. Let's click on this arrow over here. You have Indeed and Yellow Pages. These are four entities now that talk about their business. Let's click on more about this page and let's just see. So this is kind of what I try to mention for potential clients too. See what Google knows about your business. So I can see that they're using their website, Facebook, Instagram, and their YouTube as all signals about James Lawn Services. You have Yelp, you have Nextdoor, you have Crunchbase, and of course you have some images too. These are all really critical signals as well that Google is using to kind of build up, okay, this is a company, name, address, phone numbers across all these different websites. They have an updated Google My Business account, and et cetera, et cetera. So that's really what's helping rank them a little bit better. Let me just show you kind of what shows up for TM Blast, just to give you that example too. So if I do search for TM Blast, click on this over here, and then about the source, more about this page, you can see it's taking my Google My Business account. I've been referenced on local Falcon and Trust Index, and I have the reviews that are shown up as well. So I can already have an idea of how Google is thinking about my business. Again, sources that they use. So you can do this for any of your competitors. You can do this for your own business. Again, what I always recommend is that if your competitor is listed on, let's say SaratogaSprings.com or Albany.com or any other like third party site that Google is using to help rank them to understand their brand entity, that's a great place for you to get listed on as well. All right, finally, let's talk about these entities in more detail. So what I did was I took their name, JamesLawns.com, and I put that in brackets, and then I did minus site, and I put their website in again. These are all the entities that Google knows about that are ranking for their business. So you have Yelp, you have Nextdoor, you have MapQuest, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, etc. So this is what's telling me that they're doing a great job getting listed on third-party sites. They reference, again, their business name, address, phone number, their hours, a link to their website. And then, of course, they tie that back in with their Google My Business account by, let me click out of this, go back over here, by having, products and services and a description, and they're getting reviews. And I think that's what's ultimately helping them rank a little bit better for the keyword lawn care service. So this video really is just kind of a nutshell of how I look at who's ranking at the top. Again, it's more than simply they have a Google My Business account. It's more the fact that they utilize it, they're updating it, they have a website, they have third-party entities that talk about their brand. And it all kind of ties back in together that they are truly the lawn care service that Google is recommending, because users are probably spending the most time on their profile, looking at those products, dwell time, everything like that. So anyway, I hope this video was interesting. Maybe it sparked some ideas of what you guys can do to rank your business a little bit better. Again, it all really starts with the local Falcon scan to get that baseline. And then from there, it's kind of taking it from that moment and saying, okay, what can I do to potentially outrank my competition to get more customers for my business? Anyway, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one.